Well, folks, welcome back to another video right here on Jason's Wrestling Channel. Today I'm going to talk to you about Ric Flair, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. He started his career in the NWA, and he won his first world title in 1981 against Harley Race. And he had a group called the Four Horsemen, and he would go on to defend the title. And every time he was in trouble, someone from the Horsemen, like the Horsemen, would come down and pound lumps on the opponent and stuff just to help Flair win. And that was pretty much what he did. Eventually, NWA got bought out by Turner Broadcasting, and then it became WCW, World Championship Wrestling. And WCW was owned by Ted Turner. And Ric Flair was the biggest star in the company, and Hogan was the biggest star in the WWF. Now, for years, people only said that they wanted to see a match with Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair. The fans wanted to see it. So, Jim Herd, I believe, was in charge of WCW at the time. And Flair wanted to go to the WWF, and he was supposed to defend the title against Sting. Jim Herd said, no, you can't defend the title against Sting, because he didn't think that Sting was good enough to carry the championship. And Flair goes, no, he goes, you promised Sting a title shot, Sting should get a title shot. So then Flair got mad and left the company. His contract was up, and he took the big gold belt with him. And he went over to the WWF. And they were building up a feud between Hogan and Flair. Ric Flair was walking around saying he was the real world champion. Hulk Hogan was the WWF champion. Now, the thing about that was, eventually WCW wanted their belt back, so they put a lawsuit against the WWF, and they returned the belt, and they took a tag team championship belt, and they video distorted it to make it look like it was Ric Flair's big gold belt, but you couldn't really tell because they did a good job of distorting it, where you couldn't see the belt. And then eventually in the Royal Rumble, Ric Flair won the Royal Rumble one year because the belt was vacant, and he became the WWF champion. And then he lost it to Macho Man Randy Savage, I believe, at WrestleMania. And then I think he won it back. And then the second time he lost it to was to Bret the Hitman Hart. And then he went back to he had a match against Curt Hennig on Raw, and he lost. It was a match where the loser had to leave the WWF. So then he lost that match, and he went back to WCW. Vader was the WCW champion at the time. And so at Starrcade 93, he went up against Big Van Vader, and he beat Vader because Vader was the champion. And then Ric Flair remained as the WCW champion. And then in 94, Hogan came back. Hogan came to the WCW. And WCW continued the feud with Hogan and Flair because a lot of people wanted to see that main event. Flair brought Hogan in, and got Hogan signed with Bischoff. Bischoff went to Disney MGM Studios and asked Hulk Hogan if he would have any interest in coming to WCW. And Hogan said, yeah. He goes, why not? So then they built up the match between Hogan and Flair for Bash at the Beach. Hogan came in. He wrestled against Ric Flair. Ric Flair lost the title to Hogan. And the rest is history. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. And if you like karaoke, subscribe to Flash Gordon Karaoke Channel 5000. And have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching.